Hello there, I'm Dixon. What happened to Shunt?
He got a new job at Radio 1.
Have you done this before?
I've just graduated a media studies course at Oxford. This is my first job.
First time, eh? Don't worry, I'll hold your hand throughout. Not literally, of course. That would be highly inappropriate, unless you gave me permission to, which you haven't. Yeah. Any word on the guest before we get started? We've had a bit of trouble the last couple of...
She's already in the green room.
Oh, excellent. I think you're going to go far. Shall we start? Hello and greetings to Culture Pump. My name is Dixon George, critic, writer, wedding DJ, and I'm ready to pump some culture into your ears. Getting married? Need some kind of musical accompaniment? Dixon's Disco will meet all your needs. But we're not your average disco who only soundtracks your reception. That's so whack. You want your special day and energized music fest from start to finish? With our Platinum package, we'll wake you up in the morning with a blast of EDM, soundtrack your breakfast with some drill, and make your wedding ceremony memorable with a loop of Calvin Harris's remix of the Wedding March. Then after a traditional pop mix at the reception, we follow you to your hotel and play Staying Alive as loud as we can from the next room so you can keep your rhythm steady. Call now and use the code Wedding Pump, all one word, for a 42% discount. All some choices are pre-chosen. Failure to pay invalidates your wedding. What is a film? What must we see on our screens to differentiate between a great celluloid masterpiece and a Poirot special on ITV? Is it the heart, the graft, maybe the budget? Do we need to spend billions of dollars on a script before we can make the transfer to the big screen? In a world where mobile phones and editing software are readily available, does this spell the end for big blockbusters? To answer all these questions and more, we are joined by filmmaker Cerrie Shout to talk about their new movie, Once We Walked in My Shadow Slowly. Pretty wordy title there. That might be my first question. Cerrie is a quadruple threat. They have produced, directed, written, and is starring in once. And
Cerrie wants you to say the full title each time.
I'm not saying it all again.
It's in the contract. They won't appear unless you do.
What do you mean it's in the contract?
Shouldn't give it to you last week. I found it in the bin.
Right. Fine. Where from?
After quadruple threat.
Okay. Ready. They have produced, directed, written, and is starring in Once We Walked in My Shadow Slowly as the Weather. Is that right? Their character is called the Weather?
Metaphor, apparently.
Okay, whatever. And here they are. Please welcome Cerrie Shout to Culture Pump. Nice to meet you. Take a seat. Okay, let's dive straight in. Your film, Once We Walked in My Shadow Slowly, is quite unusual in this day and age. Can you tell the listeners why? Oh, I get what you're doing. You see, listeners, Once We Walked in My Shadow Slowly is a silent film. And when I say silent, I mean in the traditional sense. There is no sound except for the music, and the dialogue, such as it is shown in text frames. Tell me how you came to that decision, Cerrie. All right then. I suppose I'm going to have to describe what's going on here. Cerrie is reaching into her pack. She's pulling out a stack of A3 cards. She's showing them to me. The cards, I mean. Ah, they have words on, I see. They are designed as text frames with pre-prepared answers on. It'll be interesting to see how this goes down on an audio medium, but I'm not one to shy away from a challenge, so here we go. The question was, tell me how you came to that decision. Cerrie's answer is, thank you for asking, Chris. Okay, can't be bothered to update them. I mean, there wasn't even a need to put the name in there. Just thank you for asking would have been fine. So let's try again. Thank you for asking, Dixon. The silence in the film represents the fact that Mother Nature doesn't have a voice. What about the howling of the wind or the crack of thunder? Cerrie is searching through her cards again, but I don't think there is one for that. I'm now being glowered at.
Just ask the next question.
Okay, next question. You are the weather in the film. I don't suppose that means you actually represent the weather, because that would be Route 1 symbolism. So what does your character symbolize? There is a card for this one. My character, the weather, represents the weather, and is just one of many facets of Mother Nature that is represented in the film. I think it should be noted that all the time I was reading that out, Cerrie was giving me the finger. Cerrie, I understand this is a passion project for you, but you have to play ball with me here. I will hit you with hard questions. This isn't TV AM. This is a serious culture program. I want to get down to the bare bones of your filmmaking, and for that, I need you to talk to me. I appreciate your commitment to this gimmick, because that's what it is, a gimmick. What you have done here is a great feat, and I have a lot of respect for you, Cerrie. But this is stupid. It may have been a good thing on TV, but this is radio.
This is a podcast.
This is a podcast. Hey, sit down. Let's finish the interview. There's the finger again, listeners. Again, a non-verbal example of communication on an audio medium. Very, very clever.
Wrap it up, Dixon.
So, go see Once We Walked Ingmar Bergman slowly at a cinema near you. This has been a Juniper production, produced by Tristan Mould, edited by Senegal, and presented by me, Dixon George. Join me next time when I talk to Storm Ungley about his latest novel, Warp Warp. Dixon's Disco. We also do divorces. Thank you for listening to this episode of Culture Pump. It was written and performed by me, Mark Granger. The intro music and outro music was written and performed by me as well. And all the sound effects I couldn't do, I found at zapsplat.com. Oh yeah, and the music you can probably hear underneath this now is the same music I used for the advert. The advert thing was found at podsummit.com. It's called Splash in Memory. They made a load of these things for podcasts, and it's worth having a look. If you liked it, please do subscribe, apparently, and rate it and whatever. If you didn't like it, just keep it to yourself.